sex. I saw a picture of myself the other day. It was about 10 or 15 years old, and I went, oh my God, this just didn't. You could park a truck in my cracks on my face. It's like, what happened, son? But I met this girl, though, that we used to live in Regina, and I've just recently migrated back to my hometown. So people are seeing me, after having not seen me for 20 years, and I'm seeing them, conversely, after having not seen them for 20 years, sometimes even more years, And it's like, oh my God, this one girl, she had white hair, and she looked like she fell off the truck way too many times, the wagon, you know what I mean? And she said, were you living in Youngland, Candy Boy? And I said, yeah, I was. Oh, this just in. I was living in Candyland. I was giving a man a hand. This just in. Anyway, so here we go. No plastic surgery now. It's a nice experiment there. I like boobs. Here we go. The FCC's got them. Who's the FCC? Lagging. I got a split. See ya. I like boobs as checked out, so we can all relax. Now, just because he likes boobs doesn't mean we all have to like them the same way. So anyway, Tech Freak, what's going on? Tech Freak, do you like my song? Tech Freak, what's going on? I know we saw your show, Tech Freak, the other day. We saw your show, and it was great, You were talking to Ryan about, to Guidewire, about the Canadianism and stuff. We were talking about the eaves trough, if you remember. Tech Freak, I remember. And you were saying it was the rain gutter, I think was the American equivalent of it. You guys use eaves trough out east? You don't know. Eaves, right, but no trough. Diddly ding. No plastic surgery, no. No, I wouldn't mind. I see, this is the thing. I talk about it, but I would never do it because all of a sudden, all of a sudden you've got like these, I saw some liposuction on TV, and it was like, there's that nip and tuck show. I've never seen that. I can't watch that stuff, though, I find, But it was, right. Now, maybe we should remind the viewers, says Mighty Mouse. What's that?
We're trying to do that here with all sex, less...
Yeah, all sex, less content.
Yeah.
We're trying to up the ante here. But we never had any content in the first place, so...
Right, so
we're just
more sex then.
Yeah, more sex, basically, is what it's all about. And Cal agreed with that. He brought the sausage in the other day.
It's the
and the ham bone. We had the ham bone and the bowl of wet hash browns, which was used as a prop.
Our local fellow Cal is really into the.
He's got this. Well, he had the sausage dog. He was talking about latex with me this morning. Right, I mean, it's about vortex, and he said, "What about the sausage sock doggy style something?" Anyway. So people understand me. We're not trying to sell sex, but if you love sex, then just look at this. Here we go. One more time. I'm your daddy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm your daddy. Yeah. There, that's good. Now that's what I call truth right there. I'm your daddy. Are you going to show that again? Here, let's just do this again for Cal. Yeah. Okay. Wait. I'm your sugar daddy, darling. Yeah. Kiss me in the rain. You know what I mean? So you can't roller skate on a buffalo herd. You can't roller skate on a buffalo herd. You can't roller skate on a buffalo herd. But you could be happy if you've a mind to get on the good book. So here we go. Okay, maybe you should remind the viewers how to do it. More sex, I believe in that. Yeah, but this is right. Sexuality. I mean, it's so. Well, I find even though porn and basically sexuality is used as a constant in all media, it does seem sort of like sexuality is also kind of hidden under the barrier. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, ooh, diddly ding. People don't want to talk about it, too much. You don't want to sit down at a family, you invite 3 or 4 families over or something, and the adults are sitting around the table, and you say, so, what about sex? How's it going for you guys? You don't do that generally, so it's kind of like, we kind of inflict ourselves with, we bombard ourselves with a ton of images and stuff, but we don't actually talk about it, you know what I mean? I was talking one time, and I was saying, like your parents don't even, see, nobody teaches you how to have sex, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't say, well, you can do this, you can do that, it's... You know what I mean? And I know that sounds kind of dicey, but we're talking about sex here. And I thought, who would be the right person to teach you that kind of stuff if that was to be taught? And it certainly wouldn't be school, right? So it would be your parents. You know what I mean? Would that be, like, I'm thinking tribal here, you know what I mean? I want to go back in time to Clan of the Cave Bear.
I think generally what happens is
other sexual partners teach you?
Your other sexual partners teach you, or you're like, well, it's always like... lost in like innuendo and
it is
and kind of like, well, if you do this,
it's great. It's all, but then of course now you got porn and you can say, oh, look what they just did. But back in the day, and even so, like I was going to tell my daughter the other day, like she's turning 15 or something, but she's a pretty much developed young lady and all that. I was going to say to her, like, listen, don't go banana poopsie pie over the first hot and bothered scenario that comes your way. You know what I mean? It's like imprinting I find with love and sexuality. You know, it's like the duck sees the mum, that's the mum. You know, if it was a chicken, if it was Life of Love VIT RON, then that's the mum still. So, but what I was going to say though, Buzz, is you know, you tend to have that first. It's like all the songs about first love and all the thoughts about the purest love of your life. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
I wonder, you know.
I got a here's a little story for you.
Here's a little story. This just
Is
the guide.
the Guidewire CBC story
Yes,
minute.
yes.
So I was listening to CBC and they're talking about first loves and
Right,
on the radio today.
Right, right.
And there's this couple from Canada somewhere. I don't know.
Right.
The guy was
Portville.
in the military,
Yeah.
the army, and the woman was. Her dad worked in the military too, I guess.
Right,
And like they were deeply in love with each other.
right.
And the father found out. The father found out that he was that something had been going on. There's
Right.
a baby involved, and
Right.
she was sent away to the States. And
Right.
they loved each other, and then they stopped. They couldn't see each other for about 40 years, and then they found each other online again.
I heard that. That's twisted, yeah.
Yeah.
That's twisted, though. I
but-
heard that story because they got together after all those years, and she said, "You look great," and he said, "I'm a little heavy and I'm bald, but I love her." You
Yeah.
know?
But it was all
They were
coordinated.
Southerners, or
to-
the Canadians you're talking
The
about.
Canadians,
though.
yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking.
I think
of
it probably
a different
happens more often than
show.
not.
Than not, yeah. In
Every-
fact, I got to write this letter right now. Anyway,
I met this person in Arizona
once in 19.
when I was 2.
You know, once I was in Paris, I told this story before. I was in Rome, I think, and I sat down to have dinner with my girlfriend, and I saw this woman across the room, and I had a whole life in my mind with her. I thought, I'd tell you about that. It was interesting. You know, I thought we'd have the babies, we'd have the, you know, we'd have the old age. I kind of pictured her, you know, solemnly walking down the street. You know, it's just a little thing that happened to me, but you know, it's interesting to kind of get touched. But I was going to say to my daughter, you know, don't go selling your banana cart, you know, because it's like imprinting. You know, I mean, and I think the first love. Maybe we're supposed to just fall in love with that first touch and stay right there. Maybe that's what the church wants. Do you think that's what they want? I'm not really. Something like, something like, something like, something like, something like.
I was having a little discussion about and love and lust.
Right, right.
1 minute. We have 1 minute
Right.
to stop talking
Yeah,
about this.
to round this well, to carry on and to make a
and
block.
so I'm sort of intrigued with this whole like, you know,
Love and
biological versus
Right.
like your emotional sort of
Right,
thoughts.
right, right. How much of it was
And-
one and the other?
I listened to this radio show about pheromones and how like
Yeah.
you select your mates to a degree because the way they
Their
smell
pheromones
or
stink.
their
Yeah, yeah.
you're like, oh, that smells like
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
immune
Good day.
system, or that smells like a like that's a small
I
bit
like
of it, but
I like it. See, I think it's true because the first
I was-
thing you notice when you get close to me or you is that we smell.
I was kind of wondering the rate of love versus how well you eat,
right.
and so like if you
How
eat
healthy
well,
you
maybe
are.
you fall in love easier.
Yes, or more deeply or
Yeah.
something like that.
That's it.
That's the